forever since I've done one of these, but I have so many words and I need to get them out, so here we are. Hi guys, it's April, and I'm going to do another review today, and I'm going to do it the same way I do all of my other reviews. I'm going to have the non-spoilery section up front, followed by the spoiled-filled dump afterwards, in case you don't want to spoil yourself. Of course, this is a judgment-free zone, so if you want to sit and watch the whole thing, go for it. Let's talk about Mirka Andolfo's Mercy. So this comic is set in Washington State during the Gold Rush. It is a horror comic that centers around this concept that this town is having issues with the devil. It seems to kill off people and their bodies are left with these spore-like things growing out of them, and nobody knows quite what's going on. What I like about this comic is so wonderfully illustrated and so well done that I am in awe of the artistry, the color choices, and the way each of the characters are done. It's eye candy, and I like it so much. And I think that's what first drew me into this story, is how well done all of the illustrations were. However, once I got sucked in, I absolutely love the storyline as well. You're set on this journey of trying to figure out what is going on. There are these little bits and little connections between all of these different characters that are hinted at the beginning, and then it slowly builds you to this place where you're like, huh, okay. Yes. So the whole time I was reading this, I had these little moments of, oh, and I love when a story can do that, especially in the horror genre. Horror is this very graphic version of mystery. That's how it is in my head. You're either trying to figure out who done it or why. Here, I went on that little journey, and I am very intrigued about how all of this was set up. I do believe there is going to be a second one called, what is it, Merciless? I'm excited about that. This was done in a way that completely captured me. I love it. I need more. I will note that because it is a horror comic, there is a lot of very volatile scenes, and it is more adult-centered. There are some pieces in the story that take on a very adult theme, so if those are issues for you, putting those out there. But otherwise, I truly enjoyed reading this. I just sat down and I read it in a session. I really, really enjoyed it. This has some themes in it that I find in a lot of other stories that I really like. And so the fact that they're here all in one, yes. I highly enjoyed this. If you really like the horror comic genre, I think you will like the story. If you like some of those like Gold Rush historical setting kind of things too, this is for you. I just really like how all of it's done. I don't really have that many like negatives about this book, so go pick it up. So this is the point in the review in which I'm going to start talking about some spoiled-filled things. So if you don't want to spoil yourself, go read, come back, and we will start having a conversation because I have words. I need to talk about it because, yes, please. First thing I have to mention is I like when horror goes a little bit sci-fi, especially set in this time era. I believe like the 1800s is when that gold rush time happened for Washington State. So you get all of these like really fancy dresses, and you've got that horse-drawn carriage feel. You've got the small town, and there's just something about that setting that I really, really enjoy, especially for the sci-fi horror kind of things. Because yes, this went sci-fi very quickly. I kind of figured that these spore things were more creatures from someplace else, not necessarily space, but, you know, dimensional portals, because it kind of reminds me a little bit of what happens in Area X, I believe it's Is that what that series is called? The Annihilation series. For whatever reason I can't think of what that series is called. But it has a little bit of that feel, but instead of being set in the future, it's set in the past, and I liked it for that. And then, of course, the whole time, we're sitting there, and you don't realize that she's going to be such a major character. You have Rory. Rory, who's such a subtle character, who is picking up everything that is going on, and because she's so young, she kind of sees what she wants to see, but at the same time, she's possibly seeing more than anybody else is seeing, especially when she tries to put the lady and I believe his name is John. Yeah, John. When she tries to put John and the lady together, who we later learn where the title Mercy comes from, and then that whole connection, and then holy cow, what happens to John? I didn't anticipate that. I gotta remind myself that this is the horror genre, and so they're gonna do things that don't necessarily lead to a happy-go-lucky ending. Like poor John. But of course, the connection with John is what starts pulling us into what the whole backstory of all of this is, which, holy cow, I didn't necessarily completely see coming the direction that it came from. But the fact that Rory is standing at the end, and I believe her story is next in Merciless. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Who else is ready for it with me? I need to know. Tell me down below what you think about this comic. I didn't anticipate quite what it was going to be, but I am happy with what it is. Otherwise, if you want to see more content like this, subscribe down below, hit that bell, get all of those notifications, and I heart you beautiful faces. Bye.